What's up, yo? Shit. Fix that. What's up, y'all? I'm back. I was supposed to do this video yesterday, but I got like super tired by the time I was about to do it. So I decided to push it to this morning. And today for sure, I got this one. And then I'm going to still do that Generation Hope video way later today. But today, I decided, since Scream 5 came out a couple of weeks ago, and my big disappointment with it, I saw We Watched a Movie did a video listing their favorite kills in the franchise. So I figured I would do mine. I will spoil there will be none from 5. I'm not like 5 had some okay kills, but there was no tension. None of them had any build up. They all just kind of, oh, they're dead. Anyway. So, and what's gonna go into this is I'm not doing the killer deaths, so I'm not gonna mention like Billy getting killed or Mickey getting shot. It's only like the victims, and it specifically are from the moments when Ghostface is in costume. So, and how I did this was I figured the way I would do it was my favorite aspect about the kills in these movies is the build up, which is the call a lot of the time, and then the kill itself. And I just feel like what goes into a lot of mine is that like, and that's what I feel like 5 was missing. There was no tension. None of the scenes with the calls were that good, to be honest with you, and it just isn't there. So today I decided to do that. So I've got 10. But other than that, we'll get started. And like I said, later I'll be doing this Generation Hope video that they took down, but I found somewhere where they re-uploaded it. So I'll talk about that a little later. But before I get to number 10, we'll kick it off. So kick it up with my 10th favorite kill of the franchise, Kenny from the first Scream. And I'll admit, his is no. There's not a lot of build up to this kill, but I think the scene itself is done well. Because like earlier in the film, Gail had placed a camera on the VCR where so you could see everyone watching, and we got that great scene of Randy, almost the meta humor, the behind you thing, and then Kenny and Sydney were watching it on the screen, and then Kenny gets his throat cut. I thought that scene was done well. It's not a lot of tension. It was kind of quick, like he just turns around, throat cut, but I thought it was still done well. Then he mentioned the 30-second delay, and then he turns around. It's done well. So that's my number 10. Number 9 is more of a comedic kill, but 9 and 8 I would say, are kind of more comedic or done in a way that's funny, but I still think the kill itself is done brutally. Number 9 is Robbie from Scream 4. You might remember Robbie. He was with Charlie. He was kind of like him and Charlie were like the Randy of the movie. He's the guy filming. I thought his kill was pretty funny. Same thing, not a lot of tension built. So but I still think the scene itself, like where he finally, turns his camera around and then Ghostface opens the door, stabs him, and we get this funny line from him like, "Oh, I'm gay, I'm gay." If that helps, and then fucking Ghostface just still stabs him. I thought it was funny, so that's why it's on my list. It's not specifically the best, but it's still funny death. Number 8 is also from the same film, but is also kind of a comedic death. Anthony Anderson's character, Perkins, I think is his name. The kill itself is actually pretty brutal. Like, he just played a prank on his cop friend, and then gets stabbed in the fucking head. It's pretty brutal. Like, he gets stabbed like right in the fucking head, and then he's like, "Fuck Bruce Willis." Like, I'll admit these kills aren't great in the sense of brutality, but I thought they were just funny how they were executed. Granted, I think Perkins, I think was his name. I think his death was kind of done well, just because he got stabbed in the fucking head. Like, that's pretty brutal. So that's my number 8, but it's still a all around. I think it was the kill itself was still really done well, even if it was more for comedic purposes. Number 7 is Tatum from Scream. And I know I've given my criticisms on somewhat how this scene is. I get what, but I still think it's a good death. It's just, and I understand what what Wes was trying to do. He felt like he needed to do something more creative with the kill besides just, oh, let's do another stab scene or someone gets their throat cut. He felt like we got to do something a little bit more, unique with the kill, but it's still an all around good kill. And I think it's more because of the buildup, because because we know Billy and Stu were the killer. Stu essentially sets her up to get killed. He tells her to go get beer, knowing that Billy was going to be there in the costume. Then she turns around after grabbing the beers. He's just standing there. She thinks it's a prank, and then he attacks her. Granted, it's kind of funny how much Ghostface trips over a lot in this scene, but still, she gets hooked into the garage pool, which I have said I don't think realistically this would happen. The garage pool would probably not be able to carry her, but whatever. At the end of the day, I still think it's a well done kill. And I understand. Wes Craven wanted to be somewhat creative. He didn't want to just, oh god, we got to show another guy get stabbed or get his throat cut. So he's like, okay, I got to be creative. And I understand. Ghostface isn't like Michael Myers or Jason, where you can be creative with the kills because they're brutes. He had to figure something out, and I still think it was a well done kill all around. And it's sad, because Tatum is Sydney's best friend. So, but I still think it's a well done scene all around. The music was perfect. So Tatum's is my 7th. So now we're getting close to the top 5. Number 6 is from Scream 3, Cotton's death. I actually think this is probably, I like Scream 3, but the kills are kind of weak. But I will say this. Cotton's death was done well. I really like how it was done. He gets a call thinking it's like some fangirl. Nope, it's Ghostface, and way he sets him up by killing his girlfriend. And, when he gets to the house, he sees, there's, stab knife holes through the door. His wife, or not wife, his girlfriend thinks it's him, and then she gets killed, and then Cotton's wasn't brutal. And I will say this, not all my favorite kills are going to be about brutality. Granted, when we get to the top 3, it will more be, but not all of them. I think this kill was done well, and then, and it's kind of cool to see Ghostface actually taunt while he's about to stab, because, you don't, especially up until that point, we hadn't really seen that. We'd seen him talk when he's about to unmask, but we'd never seen him in the mask about to kill somebody, and he was just like, it's a simple game, Cotton, and then he stabs him in the face, it looks like. It's still a well done kill scene. Probably my favorite kill in the whole movie in terms of the way it was executed. But yeah, all around, Cotton's death. It's sad too because I do like Cotton as a character. So that's my favorite from that movie. So now we're getting to the top 5. We'll mention though 5 and 4 are both from Scream 2. So number 5 is Maureen Evans or Jada Pinkett from Scream 2. It's not just because I don't like Jada Pinkett as a person. I think all around this kill is done well. And and I'll mention Omar Epps dies too, but hers specifically was done well. So after killing her boyfriend, Ghostface shows up as him. I like the fact that she makes him she thinks it's him, and it's done well because Everyone else is in Ghostface costumes at the stab premiere, so it's why it's done so well. And then he finally stabs her. Once again, not the most brutal death. Like, she just gets stabbed a couple of times. Like, especially compared to the first movie where, dude, and I guess I'll spoil my number one. Casey Becker gets fucked up. So it's not brutal like that, but it's still a well done scene. People don't know what's going on. They're just so into the movie. I think some people were maybe the ones who saw it were probably thinking, "Oh, this is like some stunt they're doing for the movie." But then she died. It's a well done all around scene, and it is partially because I don't like that bitch in real life. So, but it's still a well done scene and a well done opening scene for this movie. So that's my number five. Number four is also from Scream Two. Cece's death, which is that's Sarah Michelle Gellar's. I think once again, it not as brutal, but I think the call scene itself is really good. I like the scene where she's on the phone, but you can see Ghostface coming in, and the build up to it, and then the phone rings one last time. She tries to arm, the security thing, and then fucking the phone rings, and then he pops out the door, chases her upstairs, throws her through a window, stabs her, and then throws her off the roof. I thought that scene is all around done well. Um, the music's good, just all around. Like Scream Two is how you do a sequel. Like it shows like I'm gonna really when we get to my top three, that's when we're gonna get more brutal. But same thing. I thought this scene was done well. It's unfortunate. I wish Sarah Michelle Gellar did a bit more, but at the end of the day, I thought her scene was still well done, and we get a little bit of a character in that opening scene at the in the film class. So we get somewhat get to know her, and then she dies, which is pretty tragic. And hers is pretty brutal. She gets thrown off, and then yeah, it's just and then it cuts right back to the party. I thought that kill scene is done perfectly. So now we're getting to my top three, which now these are gonna be about violence now. So we're getting to the more brutal deaths now. Number three is not Julia, is Olivia. Sorry, Olivia from Scream Four. This whole kill scene, not just the kill itself, because she gets gutted, she gets stabbed in the fucking hand. Which I remember watching this in theaters, because remember Scream Three didn't bring the violence, so this one was like, okay, we're gonna bring the violence back. Because yeah, she gets gutted, she gets stabbed in the fucking hand, and watching that was like, holy shit, like dead center through her fucking hand. It's like, bruh. I thought that was brutal, but the build up to it, even Kirby and Jill are watching the movie next door, watching I think Shaun of the Dead, and then they get a call. They think it's a prank. They think it's Trevor, but then he mentions he knows what movie they're watching. Then Kirby's questioning, "Oh, you're not in the closet." She opens the closet. It's not that closet, and then fucking Ghostface is like, "Not in your closet." Pops out and kills Olivia. Just done well. And then Sydney and watching next door, and the face she makes because she's like, "Oh shit, we're fucking here again." It's done. It's all done so well. Then Sydney runs next door while Jill and Kirby are basically watching. Granted, Jill is the killer, but still, we didn't know that yet. So they're watching their friend getting murdered, and yeah, like I mentioned, Olivia got fucked up. She got thrown around. She was thrown through a window, stabbed in the fucking hand, then gutted. When Sydney walks in and you just see the aftermath, it's just like, dude. Especially considering, Scream 3 didn't bring it in terms of violence, so it was kind of nice to see that return. And just all around a well done scene. The build up, and not just the kill itself, but the build up to it. So number two is technically attached to my number one, and I'm gonna just go through number two really quick because it's Stephen Orth from Scream One, because it's attached to Casey Becker, which is my number one. So I'm gonna take a hit, and then we'll go into it. But Stephen Orth, like I said, it's gonna be really quick because there's really no build up. Mainly because it's attached to Casey's. I was initially gonna just do these as one. Like I was just gonna merge them in one and do them both in number one. But I figured I thought Stevens kind of deserved to be talked about by itself because even though there's no build up because he's not the main target, it's still done really well. So KZ gets the question wrong about who's the killer in Friday the 13th, which unless you're like one, even like someone who's probably like an expert like me would have gotten wrong because we don't know, is he talking about the franchise or is he talking about the first movie? And so she gets it wrong, and then Steven gets gutted, which is it's pretty sad. Like her watching it, you see it happen. You're hearing the knife sounds go in, which is pretty fucked up. I remember watching it because the first time I watched Scream, I was either 10 or about to be 11. That fucked me up, man. It was the hearing the knife, and then you see the sorry about that. And then you see the aftermath, and then you just see his guts all hanging out. It's like, man, it's pretty brutal. So that's, like I mentioned, it's attached to my number one, which is Casey Becker's, which it's obvious this is gonna be my number one, just mainly because this whole kill scene is done so brutal. I mean, not just because it's brutal, but everything. The whole call, and I've mentioned this repeatedly. This is how you subvert expectations. This is probably one of my favorite opening kills in a film. Like the whole call, it starts off so mild. You know, he's asking, "Oh, what kind of horror movies do you like?" You know, maybe even potentially asking her out, but then he starts sprinkling in, "Oh, I'm watching you," and then finally snaps, and then we get after after her boyfriend dies, they break in. The killer breaks in and yeah, eventually she died. Her kill scene was drawn out. Like she gets stabbed the first time, and then Ghostface is about to stab her. She I think kicks him off, and then her parents arrive, which that's the fucked up part. She can't breathe because she just got choked, and I think maybe she also got stabbed in an area where it's probably making it harder for her to breathe, and she can't really talk. And her parents just walk in. It's so sad, and then Ghostface throws her down, and then she unmasks him. We don't see it, and then her parents realize, okay, something's fucking wrong. It's just all around that whole sequence. It's done so well. This whole opening is good. I would say 15, 20 minutes. About man, like her parents are they're realizing something's wrong, and then the dad says go next door, and then her mom's out there, and then before that Ghostface is dragging her, and you can hear her basically her last breaths, and then her parents the iconic scene. The parents walk out and see her strung up on the tree, which this was gonna be my thumbnail, but I had a feeling YouTube wouldn't let me do it because she was basically hung up. You see her guts hanging out, and there's a good picture out there. That was gonna be my thumbnail, but YouTube wouldn't let it. So, but this whole scene is done so fucking well, man. This is how you do an opening kill in general. And yeah, Drew Barrymore's acting. It's so tragic because about the 15-20 minutes we get to know her, we kind of like her. And obviously at the time, a lot of people thought she was gonna be the fucking lead, and then that's how she goes out, and it's pretty brutal. Yeah, you don't see her get gutted, but you do the part that gets me every time is when her parent, when Ghostface is dragging her, and she has the phone in her hand still, and you can hear her last breaths basically. That part always got me. Even now, it's dude, and her parents are oh shit, our daughters. And then the dad runs out. Both run out, and they just see her yeah, man, well executed scene. And this is my favorite kill in Scream. I just think, nothing else. I couldn't think of any other kill. But I do wonder what is everyone else's favorite kill in the franchise. But besides that, I really think the kills in Scream, while not as let's say violent like Halloween or Friday the 13th, I still think the kills are done well, especially like my top three, like I mentioned. The tension building is what makes the kills in those. It's okay, yeah. While Ghostface, I'm not gonna see him like, let's say, shove a light tube through someone's neck like a Michael Myers. You just get that tension building with Ghostface, like he's taunting you before he finally kills you. I think that works, you know. So it doesn't have to necessarily be done the same way. So, but yeah, that's my list. Like I said later, I'm gonna be making fun of this Generation Hope video, which they took down because everyone mocked. It's called "Racist Karen Whips Black Boy." It's fucking bad, man. It is straight up propaganda, but I am gonna make fun of it. I'll be doing that a little later, probably like my normal time I do videos. But yeah. But then that'll probably be it for videos this week, and then on Monday we will resume with Police Story. So, but other than that, I'm gonna take one final hit, and other than that. And I just want to say thank you again to my subs for getting me almost at 250 subs now. Getting my mummy video, which I did back in like July. Back in July. Getting me that video to 13. That video is over 13K now, almost 14K. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for that. But other than that, I am gonna peace out. Fuck Warner Brothers. Fuck Disney. Fuck LeBron. Fuck Kevin Smith. Fuck Seth Rogen. Fuck Joy Reid. And fuck the Biden administration. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.